The first time I met God, I was already an old man, walking in the desert, tending my flocks. 80 years old, got a good woman, a couple of grown kids. I'm thinking, maybe it's time I should start thinking about retirement when I stumble upon a burning bush. No problem, I throw some water on it. But instead of going out, the bush sputters and says, "What's the matter with you? You're getting me all wet up in here." And I look around because it feels like this voice is coming from inside of my head and all around me at the same time. But the bush sputters and controls itself a little bit, and it says, "Moses, Moses." "I am here," I say. "Moses, I am the God of your ancestors, the God of the Israelites. The cries of their suffering have reached me. I have seen how cruelly they are oppressed at the hands of the Egyptians, and so I have come to you, Moses, that you may go unto Pharaoh and lead my people out of Egypt and into the land of milk and honey." And I said, "Me? Why me? Who am I that Pharaoh's going to listen to me? Who am I that even the Jews are going to listen to me? They're going to say, God appeared to you? To you? Okay, if God appeared to you, what is God's name? And what am I going to tell them? Tell them, I am he who is. Tell them, I am sent you." Oh, that's going to go over big, I think, to myself. But God went on. He said, "Moses, Israel is my firstborn son. Pharaoh has taken my firstborn son, and I want you to deliver my child from bondage." Pharaoh's not going to let the Jews leave Egypt. I said that there is entire workforce. If Israel left Egypt land, no work would ever get done around there. "I know this," said God. "That's why Pharaoh must be coerced into letting my people go." "I've got an idea," I said. "You said that Pharaoh took your firstborn son. Why don't you take his?" "What kind of a God do you think I am?" God stormed at me. "I'm not going to take his firstborn son. I'm going to turn his water into blood. I'm going to plague him with frogs, mosquitoes, horseflies, locusts, and boils. I am going to kill half of his livestock with sickness, and then I'm going to cause a hail to come down that's going to kill the rest of his livestock. I am going to plunge Egypt into such a darkness that all light will fail within it. And then I'm going to take his firstborn son. Go!" And I went. And everything went pretty much like God said it would, because he's God. And I led 600,000 Jews out into the desert. Along the way, God spoke to me a few times, once to get us across the Red Sea, then to help me find food and water for the people. But he didn't appear to me again until 3 months into the journey. We were pitching camp at the base of Mount Sinai. This time he came in the form of a great smoke with thunder and lightning. And he called me to him, and I went up into the thunder and the lightning. And God said, "Moses, I am going to write down for you all of the laws of Israel. It's going to take a while. So tell the people to wait at the bottom of the mountain and have faith in me. Tell them to spend their time worshiping me. Tell them that even though they cannot see my face, they must worship me and only me." I went down, I told the people, they promised they would. I went back up into the smoke and the thunder and the lightning. For 40 days and 40 nights, God related to me all the laws of the Israelites. Everything from moral and religious regulations to how to cure minor skin diseases to how to sew tassels on our garments. In the end of the 40 days, he gave me 2 stone tablets upon which he had inscribed the 10 basic laws of Israel. And then he said, "Moses, you'd better get back down the mountain. You're in for a very unpleasant surprise." As I reached the bottom of the mountain, as I approached the bottom of the mountain, I began to hear the sound of revelry, wild cries and music and chanted prayers. And as I came into view of the campsite, I was appalled to see my people dancing wildly in a big circle and bowing down to something in the center of the circle. And I focused my eyes and I saw that it was a golden calf. My people were worshiping a golden calf. The first laws inscribed on the tablets I was holding in my arms were, "You shall have no God other than me. You shall carve no graven image of anything that lives under the sky, and you shall certainly not bow down to such an image." I was enraged. I picked the tablets up over my head and I dashed them upon the rocks of the mountain. The earth shook with their breaking and the revelry ceased. I pushed my way into the now silent crowd and I asked them, "Why?" And they said, "Well, you were gone so long," they said. We were afraid you would never come back and then we would be lost here in the desert forever. We needed something to have faith in, so we melted down our jewelry and we made the golden calf. I ground the golden calf into dust, sprinkled it into their water, and made them drink it. Then I went back up the mountain and I said, "Okay, God, let's put this behind us. Lead us to the land of milk and honey like you promised." And God said, "Lead them yourself to the land of milk and honey. I'm finished with these people. They make me sick. They doubt me at every turn. If I went with you now, I would annihilate them soon as look at them." And I said, "You can't do that." He said, "I can do anything I want. I'm God." I said, "No, you can't do that." He said, "Why not?" I said, "Because what would people say?" Huh? What would people back in Egypt say if they knew that these people who you freed from slavery, you just abandoned here in the desert? What would people say of a God who did something like that to the people he called his firstborn son? God said, all right, you're like a Jewish mother. Nobody ever talked to me like this before." And I said, "That's because you never gave anybody else a chance. All the other prophets, you appeared to them in dreams or in visions. You and I, we talk."